The other thing that's live is the HAFSQL API access. So if any of you guys are listening or know any applications that want access to HAFSQL, it's essentially a way to pull data from the Hive blockchain. We run our own HAFSQL node. And as part of the proposal, I was looking for, different APIs and resources that we can share with the Hive ecosystem and other applications to add more value to the Hive ecosystem. And HAFSQL access was one of those things. So that's live now. And if you want to tap into it, just reach out to me, because you do have to get whitelisted for that. And we obviously, if we notice anybody abusing that, we'll take you off the whitelist, just because it obviously utilizes resources. The next thing that we're going to push live is the accounts API. So Inleo has kind of built our own accounts API that allows for not only like the basic account data that there's other APIs out there that allow you to pull like basic account data, but we've built an API that pulls that in addition to a lot of other important information for accounts. And that's been really important for different things like creator subscriptions, being an example. We built this API so that things like creator subscriptions can work. And that's important to release next, because we are going to release the referral system and the creator subscriptions APIs as well. And those will require obviously being able to tap into the accounts API that we've built. So releasing the accounts API is like a lead domino for those things. After that, the creator subscriptions APIs, the cross UI bookmarks framework. And then, I would say like a really big one is all the new sign up options that we've built. So that is Ledger, Trust Wallet, Trezor, and others. So yeah, we are adding all those sign up options. I know you guys have seen my screenshots, of all the different login options that we've been adding, pretty much every major crypto wallet, and it works very similar to Keystore. We've built like a whole framework for all of these wallets. So we're going to start rolling them out one by one. And in addition to rolling them out, like I said, on Inleo's UI, we're also rolling out the open source code base and the APIs in order to access them. So those are kind of the main, APIs and open source code bases that we're releasing. So I think that those are obviously already having a big impact. That's why our proposal is funded. But like I said, we need to keep pushing in terms of getting more support on our proposal, because we're only about 200,000 over the line, and obviously you need to get some distance on it if you want to stay funded. So that's very important that we continue to gather votes and support. I hope that this approach that Inleo is taking to provide as much value as we can to Hive is something that gets us more support, especially in the long run. I think it's a no-brainer that we're building all these APIs and all this open source technology, and we're not asking for funding, because I was talking to someone yesterday about this. We're not asking for funding in order to build this stuff. Like, we've already built a lot of this stuff, and we're going to continue to build, add to it, maintain it, and obviously innovate new technologies. But we want to, we're asking for funding not for the building part of it, because we've already done that, and we are self-funded in terms of development. We're asking for the funding to then take these things to market, because I think a big missing piece, and I'm not just specifically talking about Hive, I'm just talking about in general. I think a big missing piece is that people build technologies, they build open source things, but if you don't take those things to market and get real users and real people using them, what is really the point of building all these open source technologies? I think that the point is moot. If you're not getting actual users, then there is no real product market fit, and the product just doesn't matter. So, my thing has always been, build great technologies and get people to use them. So our proposal is about, we're already building these technologies, whether we're funded or not. But the proposal is about open sourcing these technologies, releasing these plug and play APIs, and then taking them to market. So we're asking for the funding to take these things to market, to work with other ecosystems like Solana, Arbitrum, and others, and get their communities onboarded to Hive through these technologies. So, like I said, I think you need to have like two different mindsets about our proposal. There's one key piece that is, we are releasing, we're releasing all this technology open source. And then the other key piece is that we're asking for the funding to take that stuff to market. So I think that is a critical lead domino. Yeah, as Sunseeker said, Inleo giving results before the proposal was even approved. That's great commitment. Yeah, I think, our commitment to, just providing value hopefully is obvious as we, over the last really 10 to 15 days, we've been just rolling out all this open source tech, even though we weren't funded for the last 10 to 15 days. So we only got funded yesterday. We were releasing this stuff before we were funded. So I think this is just, my way of showing that we're committed to building on Hive both now and in the long run. And having the support of the proposal allows us to not only continue to, we're already going to continue building this technology and open source it, but we want the funding to take them to market, which I think is the critical piece of things. Anyone can build, really anyone can build, open source technologies and innovate things. And obviously it's a very hard thing to do. And that's something that I've spent a lot of years refining my approach on and getting better at in terms of building a team for it. But the real challenge, in my opinion, is taking things to market, getting real human beings to use these things, and onboard people to Hive that are both users and investors. So, I want the Hive ecosystem to succeed. I obviously own a lot of Hive power, and I've built a business for the last 6 years on top of Hive. Our success rides on Hive's success. So building all these things open source, allowing other applications to tap into them, helping other applications grow, and doing the collaboration approach to growth with these technologies is how I think we grow, not just Inleo, but the entire Hive ecosystem. So again, the proposal, giving us the funding to take these things to market, I think is really the key idea I'm trying to convey to different people out there. Cause I think, there's plenty of proposals out there that offer open source technology in exchange for funding. That's not what we're doing. What Inleo is trying to do is release open source technology, maintain, add, and continue to innovate it, but ask for funding in order to take it to market. So our approach is different. There's no other proposal like it in terms of asking for the funding to take all these technologies we've built and continue to build actually to the market and collaborate with ecosystems where I have connections with, the Solana team, the Arbitrum team, the ChainFlip team, ChainLink, and really take all of what Hive is really great at and bring it to these communities and these ecosystems and these teams and bring those people to Hive. And I think Inleo is uniquely positioned to do that for the Hive blockchain.